tonight's Swans lineup. Number 1, Joss Barker. Number 3, Owen Bolger. Number 4, Joey Jones, captain tonight. 7, Mason Abeng. 9, David Rogalski. 10, Joel Powell. 11, Jack Wood. 12, Stefan Parks. 16, Charlie Street. 17, Joe Bennett. 20, Tabo Quaho, with a bench of Ethan Light, Lucas DeFeece, John Page, Anis Nur and Zach Al-Falahi.
Bolger over the top, looks to find Wood. Headed away. Charged down by Wood, finds it to Rogalski. Rogalski's through and goal, gets the shot in. And Ecott manages to stop the corner. Rogalski plays into Mason Abeng. Mason Abeng's through and goal. Mason Abeng plays into Rogalski. Rogalski! 1-0 Walton Hersham! Mason Abeng with the assist this time, 2-2.
Brilliant move from the Swans as Mason Abeng raced through on goal. Just dispossessed, but won it back.
David Rogalski.
Dispossessed and won it back and managed to set up David Rogalski to make it 1-0.
Then get under Joss, it could cause some damage. Here it comes.
That's over and out for a goal kick.
Wood, he's got space to drive into, he's got Rogalski to his left.
It's caught under his feet, but plays it back to Joey. Back to Wood. It's Joey. Brings it inside. Twists and turns before playing it through to Rogalski. And
Flag goes up, offside. Jones loses the ball under pressure. Ball over the top, which Parks will deal with. Back to Barker, who's under pressure here. He's under severe pressure. That's a goal!
Farnham equalise.
Misplaced pass for Stefan Parks.
Goal score for Farnham Town, number 20, Adam Lilly.
Mason wins that back. Looks to Rogalski on the right, on the left.
Rogalski shoots, deflects, corner. Two at the top. Alafahi.
Does really well.
Boy, honked long. Obi's chasing down Ethan Light. Ethan Light will look to shepherd that out if he can. Obi picks it up.
Let's play back. It's great. And he shoots. Looking to place it into that bottom left corner, but well wide.
Don't know if that. Shaping to go long. Crossfield pass from Bobby Joe. Finds Mason, looks to drive down that left wing. Alafari comes back to do some defensive work. And the ball slips in. And it runs past everyone. Offside. Oh, goal kick, sorry. Mason on the left. Crosses the ball in. Joss punts as only far as 19. Joss. It's down, he looks hurt. He's done enough to win the foul. Page got an opportunity to drive. Clips the ball over the top, looking for Bennett. Bennett's there! Warrior done it! In the 93rd minute!
Joe Bennett with his first goal for the Swans at the back post to win it at Farnham Town.
Farnham fans are shouting, who are you? We are Walton Hersham, that's who we are.
Number 17, Joe Bennett.
And Joe Bennett.
I think that's the second yellow card.
Joe Bennett received a second yellow card and he is off.
I think for taunting the celebration.
Farnham restart. 94 minutes on the clock. Ecourt goes long. Walton Hersham get the win! It's Walton Hersham 1, Farnham 0. Walton Hersham with the main event, and Farnham were the sidemen.
Farnham Town 1, Walton Hersham 2.
We'll see you on Saturday down at the Hub where we take on Hendon in the FA Trophy.
Bill, a late, unbelievable result, 2-1 here at Farnham Town. What are your takes on the result and then the game itself?
I think it's a classic case of I'm like very score happy with tonight. You would have said 2-1 before the game, would have snapped your hand off, but performance happy, not really. I felt we had some really good spells in the first half, like some decent enough build up. It got us, I wouldn't say in their box, but in their final third a fair few times. But I thought we were, I don't know, just a bit loose with our final pass or decision. And then second half came around, and I said to the boys in the changing room, which is kind of, it's two sides to this compliment really. But at the moment we're looking better without the ball than we are with the ball, which is a credit to the management team. We worked really hard to tighten up that sort of stuff this year because we know how difficult the league is to defend your box and stuff, and we've worked really hard at that. But naturally, when you spend a lot of time at the other end of the pitch, like we need to go back to some basics of some final third work, and we haven't trained properly now for a couple of weeks. We've had some long away trips. I've given the boys a couple of nights off. We've had Tuesday games, so we haven't had a proper training session with the team for I'd say at least 3 weeks now, really. So that's definitely showing in some of our cutting edge, especially in the top half of the pitch. And I mean, I say that I think we're one of the top, if not top scorers in the league. So I'm being really picky with that. But I know how talented some of those boys are, and I didn't really see it tonight. We were poor in the transitions. We weren't counter-attacking with any real vigour, and then we were getting tackled in moments where we shouldn't have, and it was just it was a bit of an ugly game really. If you're a neutral coming to watch, it might have been a little bit feisty. There was a red card, there was a few little tussles off the ball, which was for a fan it's quite fun to see all that. But from a coaching eye, I wasn't happy with our performance. But look, you come to Farnham and win, it's not bad. Yeah,
it's difficult in those ones because as much as it's the same 3 points as every other game, there was a little bit more emotion about this one. And I suppose that comes to play in those big games, if you were to say. So that is obviously a massive part of it. And how would you say the boys, as you said, maybe not the best performance, but the belief that they showed all throughout the game, and a little bit of luck. But yeah, what would you say about the belief in the dressing room and for the boys coming off the bench and everyone within the squad? This isn't the first time that the boys have done something in the final minute of a game. So what would you say about that?
Well, I'd say it's a great trait to have as a team. I'm a Man United fan, so back in the Fergie days, I used to love those last 5-10 minutes because you pretty much know a goal's coming. We're not quite that good, but we're pretty good in the final 10 minutes of the game. But I've got to be deadly honest, I didn't sense that coming tonight. I thought we were really sloppy in a lot of our play, especially second half. So, look, that moment comes from John Page's ability to cross the ball with pinpoint accuracy, and then Bennett's little clever movement off the shoulder at the back post and a great goal. So, Yeah, I'll put that down to just 2 moments of good play, but I didn't see that coming. And credit to Farnham, you know, I thought they were probably better than us on the night, if I'm honest. I'd feel very disappointed for them probably if they didn't get a draw or win in this game. But look, you don't always get what you deserve in football, and we've had plenty of those in the past. And I think this time last year we probably would have drawn or lost that game. And I don't know if that comes down to luck or when you're sitting high flying at the top of the league. Sometimes you do just get a bit lucky with certain things, and we definitely found some tonight. Yeah.
And I guess second last point, the fans tonight, something we have to talk about. It's definitely the loudest we've heard them, whether it's because Farnham have a great little away spot for all of them to group together, but it seemed like something clicked with the chants tonight, with the volume. You know, did that play a part in keeping the boys going? And what would you say about the fans?
I think so, yeah. I think massive credit to our fans tonight. And I said it last week, but I think, you know, both sets of fans tonight made the game really, really enjoyable to be part of. You know, there was 5-10 minute spells where you heard the Farnham crowd, and then our guys would take over. So it was a bit of back and forth in that sense. And at the end of the game, when we obviously got the win, they were class in that little stand over there. I thought it was brilliant, and the boys are buzzing inside. So thanks for all them for travelling.
And last point, on to Saturday. Well, I suppose training Tuesday, if the boys can do it, and then on to Saturday. Hendon in the FA Trophy, back at home. Haven't been at home for a week and a half by the time Saturday comes. So, what would you say to the fans and people turning up to watch the boys in the trophy?
Yeah, I think it's a tricky game on Saturday. Hendon have got some really good players still. You know, they've still got some of the boys that were playing for them in the Southern Prem last season or season before. So they've got some talent, and I've had a look at a couple of their highlights in the past few days, and yeah, they've got some good ability in their team. So it's definitely not going to be an easy game for us. And these games, I think I've said it in previous interviews, these games early on in the trophy, they're tricky. You know, when you draw teams in lower divisions, naturally, as a player, you take your foot off the gas 10-15%. The fans will turn up and probably expect us to win and score a few goals. And as soon as it doesn't go smooth sailing, there's that little, you know, sense of fear in the players and in the crowd, and that might leak onto the pitch. So look, we've got to be prepared. We've got to try and prepare for that game as we would any other game. And if we can get through this round and one or two others, then you're on the road for a really good run in that cup, and that's something we want to do. So hopefully we can get a good crowd there. Yeah.